All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sheethy Car Mods. Sheethy. Sheethy. Sounds like I'm saying a bed sheet. I'm trying to beat the captions, make demonetized monetized again, so that it doesn't get what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying, because you know where we are, which is Sheethy Car Mods. Let's take a look at some really great vehicle modifications, starting off with when you want extra seats. Seems, wow, that's on a Mercedes S-Class. That is not what I would have figured you'd go and chop the roof off of to turn it into like a safari vehicle or something. But hey, when you really gotta have luxury wherever you go, you're like, excuse me, but I paid a lot for my accommodations on this safari and I never set foot in anything below a Mercedes S-Class. So one of those Range Rover Defenders is not going to work for me. Even though Defenders are pretty darn cool. But that seems like a better way to get attacked by a lion. I also have no idea where exactly this is. Nice ladder right there. Goes with the aesthetic of the bodywork of the car, having just dangling square pipes off of it. Very, very interesting, but I'm sure it's being used for something worthwhile. Money can't buy taste. Who would have the guts to do this to a classic car? All right, I mean, I don't think that that's anything permanent. They probably just did it kind of for fun. And the entire origin of Lamborghini is being more outrageous than, well, Ferrari specifically. And I think that's kind of funny. I bet you those are just like attached in an easily removable fashion. So I think it's kind of great. Also, it looks like it's a car show. So they probably did it on purpose for that. Just like I would put in the Miami blue with the black stripe floor mats into my car if I went to a car show, but they get really dirty otherwise. Get really dirty just in the one trip to the show and back. But yeah, people do fun things like that. It's not often temporary. If it is permanent, then, well, to each their own. But, you know, Countachs are pretty cool. Although I just recall watching the Top Gear segment on one and how impractical it is. Supercars have come a long way in terms of practicality since then, it would seem. Only in Central Florida. What actually is that? It's like a pickup truck slash limo slash hearse, but also I guess it's not a hearse because a hearse wouldn't open that way. It's like the trailer opening mechanisms for race car transport trucks, that the whole bed kind of comes up. It's like a clamshell, and then when you put the car in, it like eats the car. I don't know if you've seen or know what I'm talking about, but it's like that, except facing the wrong way, because you can't really enter. You can't drive a car. It would need to be the other way, and then you drive the car in, and then it would clamp down on top. Not actually clamp down on the car, because the car would be inside and it would be great. But that's very interesting. Also, I don't know how you drive that over anything that's like more than that, because you'll just get stuck on it, and that's going to be a bummer. This is just horrifying. I feel a very personal pain, given that I owned a CLS 63. That was the first like nicer car that I bought myself. That is not a good representation of it. You know, I see some parts here. Basically, the whole roof line and everything looks nice. That looks as it should be. What are these wheels and why do they be what they be? I also don't think this is a CLS 63. What did they do over? It's like a CLS 333. What is? I actually can't quite read it. It's not a 63. Please don't tell me it's a 63. I don't think it's a 63, but they've done enough to it to where it's obscuring any of the things that would obviously give it away actually being an AMG, but it doesn't have the AMG badging, so I'm assuming not. That pains me personally. I think this is the first time I've ever actually seen a car on this subreddit, other than a Fiat, that is a nicer car that I've owned that has had this done to it. Oh, that makes me kind of sad. Not gonna lie, I would rock it. It honestly makes it look like a little toy car because the wheels are just disproportionately large, and you kind of envision it as the wheels being normal sized and the car is just really shrunken down. It'd be really practical though. I don't know what is. It's really weird lighting in this photo. It almost looks like it's been composited in, and that this isn't a real car. It's kind of bizarre. Oh, there's the other wheel over there. Okay, that's what was missing. I didn't catch that. Yeah, it'd be really practical. Yeah, you never have to worry about angling into a driveway. It'd be pretty compact. You could park it in most spaces, even though it's a little wider because of the wheels, but it wouldn't be too bad. Also, a lot of people seem to have hit you right there because your bumper's gone, so that's a bummer. I need to get some extra mileage from my Tesla. Haha. trying to think, like, why would you do that? Because obviously the solar panels are not functional. So all that you're doing is making it so you're more likely to hit on the roof of like a garage entry. You're probably obscuring your vision slightly at the top here and right there. It makes it harder to park. It's heavier, but I guess you do get some downforce from it. Some pretty serious downforce, I'm sure. Like, you know, when supercar manufacturers roll out a new car and they're like, we get 50% more downforce, and it doesn't even look like they did much. Just imagine what it would be if it looked like they did something. This has got to be like 7,000% more downforce than the stock car. So this thing could probably, if you got it up to having more than 50 horsepower with like an engine swap, I bet you could drive upside down in this thing. No kidding. This is some real aero right here. Manufacturers, supercar manufacturers, learn from this how to be eco-friendly and drive on the ceiling. Fork. I think we've seen this car here on the subreddit before, and anything that looks like this is obviously going to be appearing at car shows all over the place, so multiple people are going to be taking pictures of it at all times. Hell, if I saw this thing on the street, I very rarely take photos of cars, but I'd take a photo. Well, I should say I very rarely, if I just see something parked on the sidewalk, take a photo. If it's in an environment where it's like a meet, then for sure. But this is one of those times where it'd be too absurd not to. No one would believe me otherwise. Like, hey, I saw a car that looked like a fish that kind of mated with a gargoyle, and then Batman came in and applied some external modifications to it, and that's what I just saw. And people would be like, can I get you to pee in a cup right now? Anyway, does this custom gas cover count? Fill me up, senpai. This is me cranking through the gears in my head. Can this be in this video? I guess so. I guess it's all censored and it's just implied. I'd be a little bit worried about catching something from filling you up, given that there's rust right there. So, gonna need some protection on that one. I don't think this works with a Tesla. That's such a questionable decision. I guess, yeah, according to the top comment, and I'd be inclined to agree, he's trolling, which it is probably just easy to remove adhesive on both those things, because, you know, you can remove a wrap pretty easily. So, it is kind of funny. It'd be kind of funny to go into like a Cars and Coffee show with a Tesla that has an air intake on the hood. I'd be down. And also, it's still probably faster than literally anything at the car show if it's P100D underscore. So, yeah. God, Tesla's like way too fast. It's not fair. It's not fair that they can go like 2.3 or 2.4 seconds to 60, whatever it is now, on the P100D Ludicrous. Just, geez. I'm interested to see the Roadster actually do the numbers that it claims, because that is just going to be too much. It's going to be like, all right, no more gas engines for anyone. It's all electric. And then we'll put loudspeakers at the exhaust pipe so that it can still sound loud and nice, but it's just going to be a soundtrack, which is, I guess, what BMW sort of does into the cabin on some of their M cars, just not externally. So when you got to take your kids to soccer practice at 4, but you have a drag race at 5, it just looks like there's a sticking out of the front. Sorry, I can't say that. It looks like there is a cylinder that could fire projectiles sticking out of the front of that vehicle. Also, I figured by the title, like, that'd be a perfect way to describe like an RS6 over in Europe, because they don't exist here, and it's such a disappointment because I would absolutely opt for an RS6 wagon. Oh God, that's so. Oh my God, it would like bring me back to my old Volvo station wagon, right? Just the cargo capacity, everything's brilliant. But then you also have like 600 horsepower. Either that, or I just prefer the look of the RS6 to like the E63 Estates, which I don't even know. Do they make that in this current? I don't think they make that in this current generation. The US just doesn't get wagons or shooting brakes. So just don't bring them over. It's all a Europe thing. It's a bummer. I'd buy an RS6, dude. That'd be my daily, and that would be a sick daily. I can actually take that to go snowboarding rather than having to like rent a car or something, because it's all-wheel drive, it has the cargo capacity, and it's just sick. But if you don't have the RS6, you can get the Drag FX Mazda Edition, which has what looks to be Wall-E kind of peeking out of the top with its cylinder that shoots projectiles attachment for added speed. Louder than your girlfriend last night. I mean, at least it doesn't say Type R on it. So it could be worse because it could have a fake Type R badge and it doesn't. So let's give kudos to that at the very least. Because if you see any Civics that have a Type R badge that aren't the current generation Civic Type R, which has wings this big, it's really easy to identify a Civic Type R because it's got big wings. Big wings. And if you see any other Civic that has a Type R badge, it ain't that, because those were only in Japan. And they're not past the import age restriction limit thing quite yet. I forget what the exact rules are on that. But we got some pretty stringent rules out here when it comes to crash test and road safety and stuff, unless you have an older car, in which case they're like, go ahead and just drive it and die when you crash it. So I don't know why that. It's kind of it's great that there's leniency on old cars, but it's kind of interesting that they're like, all right, I guess it's old enough to where you can bring it over so that it's just lights out when you crash it. Yeah, it's very strange. But again, I'm fine with it. It's very strange. I'm sure someone out there could explain why it is. But anyway, louder than your girlfriend last night. Found on... It'd be even better if it actually worked, but for some reason I don't think it does. And that kind of disappoints me a little bit because it's such a great opportunity. But, I was going to say it'll probably get knocked off, but the side mirror extends a little bit further out anyway. So if you're passing that close, your side mirror's gotten dinged, so it's not really that big of a deal. Also, it's a thing that you could sketch off of if you wanted to get pulled on your skateboard or something. You just hang onto the doorknob and you're good to go. It doesn't look like the adhesive is terribly strong. Kind of just looks like double stick tape. God, that'd be kind of funny though. If you're gonna commit to that, just go to a shop and get it wired or something. Easier said than done. That's probably kind of expensive, but still, wouldn't that be great? If you could just, as long as you have the car unlocked by, I don't know, the beeper or whatever, you turn the doorknob. That'd be amazing. Not so smart car. Yeah, that's not very intelligent decisions, I don't think. So the chain is dragging on the ground, and then you have like a desk chair wheel that's propping that up. I presume so that the whole thing doesn't just cave, and this is dragging on the ground, creating sparks. But probably you just shouldn't be towing with your smart car. What happens when you hit a hill? Can you go up it? I guess you could just make sure that you avoid hills when you're driving. This whole problem could probably be solved by just not doing what this person is doing. Can you imagine if that got hooked on something? I don't know, there's some piece of debris or something that this gets hooked on, and that's gonna be bad news. And also, how does that even last? This isn't the sheet car mod. This is just dangerous, and I don't like that. This is, if I am behind you and things go wrong, I'm the one who suffers. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you want to go and get yourself hurt, I guess you're free to, but don't get other people hurt. Jeez. This fake rusted Mercedes. So my guess would be that this is for a rally or something. Also, though I'm not intimately familiar with the car rallies that take place in Russia, which is where this car seems to be from, so I do not know. Maybe this is just what someone has on their car in Russia. This is very possible. I'm just not familiar with car culture there, It would work well for a rally. It's missing the branding decals and all that stuff. But it's a wrap. You can get it removed. See, wraps never bother me because it's just so easy to revert. On the other hand, when you do like engine modifications and stuff and add new body panels onto your car, as per like other vehicles in the subreddit that don't look very nice, and then you throw away presumably the original ones, then it makes it a lot harder to revert. Wraps, easy to revert. So I would do something wild for a rally if I ever did a rally. Typical Jeep owners. I don't know if this picture is taken in as a satirical thing. I've seen more of the Jeeps these days that have, it's a really recent thing, these kind of angry eye lights. And it's really interesting. I saw it for the first time probably a couple days after I saw the first photo I'd ever seen of one of these Jeeps with the angry eyes lights. And now I've been seeing them all over ever since. And so I don't know if it's like a company just created these and now they're all over the place or what, but it's an interesting look. Hey man, you never have to worry about a dip, a curb, a wall, probably scale vertical walls. And I think it looks kind of cool other than the unnecessary lettering up here. That's probably lights. Probably take those off and then it's lights behind it, which is cool. But otherwise, I don't know. I have this guilty pleasure of actually kind of enjoying the look of absurdly modified Jeeps. There's like part of me that would actually enjoy having one, except it could never fit in my garage and it'd be too impractical to own one. So just looking at them is like, it's actually, I've gone on, like there's this place in Texas that does these outrageous Jeep modifications and stuff. And occasionally I'll just go and look at them. I'm like, it's kind of cool in an absurd way that I'd never drive, but it's cool. And I like it. Awesomely sheathy. This door is blue. Just use your imagination. I should have put on my Volvo, I should have just written right on the top of the hood, this is a Bugatti. And then everyone would have looked at it and been like, you know what? If I squint from about a mile away, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference if it was parked next to a Veyron or Chiron for that matter. Get away with it. So, God, why didn't I think of that before I spent a whole bunch of money buying cars? That would have been so much smarter to do. And I could have still had my Volvo, had the cargo capacity, but everyone would have looked at it and been like, wow, dude, that's a sick Bugatti. Damn. Take it to another level. Don't just limit it to this door is blue. Take it to the whole car. You know, this car is actually something else. What is your dream car? I don't know. Volkswagen makes a lot of cars, so it could be any. This is a Lamborghini. This is a Bentley. This Bugatti does hold up. It's Volkswagen. So, anywho, that's it for the last month of sheathy car mods. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you like. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch more Reddit videos. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to get the hate to help make sheathy not be a bad thing, link in the description. I'll see you next time.